How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called East Groningen. And we are going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads: This is a Dutch map based on three small villages, Bleesheim, Bellingwood, and Oostelschens. That was brutal. 163 fields, 3 sales points, 1 BGA, many cow farms, pig sheds, and chickens. Based on real-life infrastructure, custom soil map, clay, more paintable stone types, precision farming ready. Have fun with it. This map was created by Northeast Modding and is 245.63 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this, is what it looks like. You can see we do have quite a bit of fields going on here, so there's going to be quite a bit of range between what's going to be price-wise. So let's take a look at some of our smaller fields. We got a couple down here in the southern portion here, 43,200 right there. You got 75,000. So I mean, you're spending quite a bit of money for these fields. So it's definitely up with the modern times of pricing systems. 166,000, 217,000, all the way up to here, 516,000. It's not like these are big fields. See, the unfortunate part is, even though you're not getting a whole lot of area and you're spending a whole bunch of money, you're gonna be really having to wait season after season and doing a lot of different revenue streams in order to start building up like anything towards this particular map. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of a slog on this one, you know. But I mean, hey, it's gonna be worth putting in all the effort because you're gonna be able to invest in a lot on this map. Let's see if we take a look at. We do start out with several animal pens, as you can see here, and it's kind of weird. We're gonna go through it here in a little bit, but some of them are on property you own, some of them are not. There's some things that make me kind of suspicious of whether or not there's going to be a not too distant future update. So we'll kind of cover that once we get to it. Contracts are available on this map. Production chains are available right from the very beginning. You've got a couple of greenhouses as well as the potato storage and sorting sheds. You also do have collectibles on this map, 20 of them to be precise. Oh, and there's something we didn't cover. Farmlands that you start out with, number 2, 13, 146, and 63. You are able to buy every portion of this map, so you can see here we do have the kind of periphery area here for 11 million. It just, you know, chump change, just a little bit. It's okay, it's okay. So let's see, you start here right in front of the shop. So this is part 1 of the reason why I think there's going to be a update forthcoming. You can see on the map in the bottom left hand corner of the screen there's no indicator right here, but you can see right there is the shop trigger. We are there, it's just not on the map. So I have a feeling that's going to be update number 1. I don't know why, but I decided to translate this particular map, or this particular board right here, because this is where you first start off, right on this map. And it says the following: Welcome to Groningen, East Groningen, 163 fields, infrastructure based, farms, and 2 places where you can build your own. So pretty much restating what was in the mod hub in the description. So not nothing too important with this, just kind of an additional descriptor. Over here, like I said, we do have our shop trigger that does not appear on the map, but it does work, so that's kind of a bonus. At this point, though, I need to go ahead and just teleport over to our starting farm because there's quite a bit of distance. I'm not going to run all the way over to try and get through everything. So let's go ahead and go to the farm. We'll pick up a tractor and we'll go from there. And here we are at the starting farm. It's kind of a bare starting farm. I'll be really honest. So you got this house here, but with no sleep trigger. You've got a cow barn right over here with the milk point right here. some storage and some bunker silos in the back, right back here, and that's it. I mean, you've got a grass field on the, facing this direction that kind of wraps around the entirety of the farm, that's split by this driveway over here into this back end here. You do have that farmland right beyond that grass field over there, 146, so you do have some ability to start making money right off the bat, but not a whole lot beyond that. So this cow barn, you can hold, whoops, there it is, 140 cows at this location. I believe this is your slurry point right here, and yeah, that is it. It's kind of a basic starting farm. But because we're here at the starting farm, let's take a look at our starting equipment. Under the oh, you know what? I am just bouncing all over the place today. This is kind of a slapped together video. So, starting equipment here at the farm. We'll go out of order today. That's okay. Under owned items, we have under small tractors a John Deere 6110M and a Buer 6105. Under medium tractors, we have a Massey Ferguson 8S205. Under front loaders, we have the Schaefer 2630. Under seeders, we have the Nordstein HK25 NS3030. Under mowers, the K-brand GMD 4411 and the GMD 3123F. We have in tedders, the K-brand GF8712. Under windrowers, the Pottinger Top 342. Under forage wagons, we have a Pottinger Faro 4010B. Animals, we have the Silo King Trailed Line 4.0 Premium 221822. And then lastly, under front loader tools, the Albut Manure Fork. Now, one thing I didn't go over specifically, we're going to backtrack to, is mod specific to this map. There is nothing under the buy menu, but if you take a look under the buy menu, you will see under mods and DLCs, because this map does have mods required for it, the Seed Potato Farm Buildings Pack. Now, this comes into play later on, so we will kind of go through this once we get to those productions later. But under the buy menu, you can see under sheds, pass by it, East Groningen right here, large grain storage, there is one there. There is nothing under silos, silo extension, containers, tools, or farmhouses. If we go under productions and look under factories, you can see here the grain mill is specific to this map, and that is it for this particular section. There is nothing under the selling points, greenhouses, orchards, or generators. And then again under animals, you do have one here under cows, the cow barn large, but nothing under horses, pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, or others. Under decorations, there's nothing under any of these tabs here, nothing under fences, lights, or others. And then lastly, under landscaping, we do have a lot of new swatches that are available for this map. So you've got things like asphalt, concrete, several layers of concrete, and just all sorts of different ones. So very nice that those are added in. Nothing under trees and nothing under plants. So that now catches us back up to where we should have been. And now we're going to grab one of these tractors. I'm going to go and grab this big Massey Ferguson right over here, and we're going to make our way around the map. Oh dear, oh dear. Cut that a little too early. So these yards are very small, and you get too big of equipment, it's gonna come back to haunt you. So just be careful. It's a lot of small fields. It's gonna be a lot to kind of handle. So now we're gonna head up to the north here. We're gonna cross over the river. It's got this big kind of, it's kind of a, I don't want to say it's weird, but it's almost like man-made river, because you got these giant berms right here that lead into the river itself. Like the river appears to be higher than the rest of the land around it, so it almost seems man-made to me. I don't know, it just a thought, just something I noticed. I could be 100% wrong on that too, so. continue heading north. We're going to hit our next points of interest just ahead of us here. You can kind of see it coming into the foreground just over off to the right there. Okay, we're going to stop right here because I can just jump over this ditch. And right here you have a couple of greenhouses. You do start out with the ability to use these greenhouses. That was some of the productions we saw under the production menu, as you can see here. But you don't own the land, so you can't do anything with this land until you purchase it. You can purchase it. So we started originally here at the shop. We then teleported over to the starting farm, and then we went from the starting farm up to here, where we are here. Now you can buy this. This is part of that periphery though. That's $11 million. So if you want to be able to do stuff with this particular area, you can. It's just going to take a lot of money. And you do have a little water point right there. And now we'll jump back over and head to this intersection and make a left. Here, let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oops, I'm not paying attention. That's right, this way. Had to jog my memory there real fast. And here we're going to make a left. There we go. Cut through the little village right here, past the church. Alright, and here we're going to turn down here, and this is, we're going to refer to this as farm number 2. This is one of the purchasable farms here on the map. We're going to stop right here. Now, if we take a look at the map, we were here at the greenhouses. We came out to this main road, around here, through the village, to this kind of main road, and then to here. Now, again, you can see we do have access to this one pig farm, or this one pig barn right here, and where we already have a pig in here. You can see him, he's laying right there. But all these are pig barns too that you don't have access to. But if you come back here and purchase farmland number 164 for $76,410, now everything pops up, and more than just these pop up. So we'll run back to the front here and kind of show you what we're missing here. Sleep trigger right there. Again, we do have the pig barn here. You can see we have a feed point, slurry point, where we can load the animals in, some additional storage, and then we go into the other barns. So right here, did I mention? I don't remember if I mentioned how many pigs are allowed in this barn. Was it 200? 100. 100 pigs in that barn. But over here, and each one of these holds 250 pigs each. So you got 3 additional pens here that'll hold 250 each. Feed goes here, slurry comes out there. And then over here, you have what's called a slurry basin. So this is just basically a slurry holding tank. And then you have some additional storage right around here. Just open that up. And you see a pretty decent amount of storage here. You got some room. But again, you're going to want to keep your equipment rather small because you can see just how tight and narrow this yard is. You're not going to get a ton of equipment around. And from here, we're going to go ahead and turn around. Head back down the driveway. And continue heading south. Again, up over the river. Again, I feel like that's just could not be naturally made like that. I just don't see how that could be done. So now we're just going to follow this around, and this is going to drop us off right next to our starting farm. You can see it right over there. So we just basically did a big square, big, you know, whoop-de-woo as I would call it. Now we're going to make a right. Okay. Now here is another purchasable farm right here to my right, if we stop here. So we were here at farm number 2, this big old pig farm right here. Came back out, came all the way around right next to our starting farm, and then down to here. Now if you purchase farmland number 180 for $36,900, nothing pops up, but, so no sleep triggers, no nothing. But if you come through right over here, you do get a repair trigger right here. And that's the one thing I noticed about this particular map, is I didn't notice a repair trigger there at the shop. I may have just passed by it, passed over it. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty certain I didn't see one. Now pulling ahead just a little bit further. Stop right here. Open the fence. And here you have more animal pens and pastures that you have access to, but you don't own the land. You don't have to own the land to be able to use these. But each one of these big buildings, these big gray buildings here, are chicken barns. Now each one of these will hold 5,000 chickens. 5,000. These things produce so much if you have them fully loaded with chickens, but they go through so much feed, so you've got to have a ton of feed. Food goes in here, eggs will spawn right here, and your chickens, you can buy them right there. That's pretty much it. You have, what, 4 of these buildings? Yeah, 4 of these buildings, so you can have, what is that, 5, 10, 15, 20,000 chickens, you know, total. Whew, you could be an egg magnate. Like, just the amount of eggs that you'd be able to produce will be just through the roof, but you have to have a way to be able to maintain having that many chickens. Anyways, right here, sheep pasture, you have 2 of them where you can have 15 sheep each. Water, feed, and wool spawn point right there. And same thing right over there. Get away from my tractor, dear. Now from here, get to here, make a right. Pass this little town right here. Group of houses. I don't know if you noticed the road kind of shaking and trembling there. Again, something else I feel is going to need to be updated, to be kind of corrected. There's a couple of spots around the map where it just seems like something just wasn't either coded properly or something. I don't know how to explain that. When we walk in here, you can see this is the grain mill. You can purchase this for $96,000. You have your inputs dumped in here, and your outputs are right here. And now we're making our way back around to where we first started here. The shop is right there to my right. To my left here, you have this series of car washes, or pressure washers, I should say, that can be used as, you know, ability to clean your equipment. You do have access to them without owning the land. Yeah, see, I didn't think there was any repair trigger here. Nothing in... Yeah, nothing in there. Oh, dear. Can I squeeze through? Oh, think thin, think thin. Ha 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 ha. Got it. Alright, now we're going to pull in here. Now this is a lime station right here in front of me. So, place where you purchase lime. You see a little symbol there on the ground. Over here, you can see all these symbols here. This is called the animal dealer sell point, but it's basically just a bunch of sell stations. So you got all these are sell stations here, and this is a sell station for your bales, so your grass, your hay, your straw, and your bio bales, your wood chip bales. But then you have these 4 sell stations here where you can put potatoes here, sugar beets and cut sugar beets here, corn and chaff here, and then you have oats, canola, sorghum, barley, wheat, sunflowers, and soybeans. All can go in here. So, cool little selling point right here. Kind of a simulation of a, like a dump yard kind of thing. Now we'll go ahead and leave here. Come back out to the little road right here. Now, I will say, this is a cool detail. This is the dairy. And just having these kind of statues up front, that's kind of cool. I like that. $70,000 will purchase the dairy for you. And your input is right here. Output is right there. Now we'll come up to this roundabout here, and we're going to take the third, is it the third exit? I think it's the third exit. So 1, 2, 3. And there we go. There is the gas station right there. And now we're going to come out here and take the first exit. We're just going to keep heading this way until we get to the next roundabout. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hop out here. And come running right over to here. Now this is another viable farmland, but it's not like anything major. It's basically just a building and storage. So let's go ahead and purchase this. So we were here by our chickens. Actually, I'm sorry, by this purchasable land. Just so one we're at now is basically like number 180. Farmland to 180 is just basically just a plot for you to buy and build up. So we were here at farmland number 180. We came down here. We saw all these chicken barns here as well as sheep pastures. We came down to this first intersection here. Came all the way out to here to this roundabout. Then we came up to here, out to the grain mill. Saw that. We saw the shop again with no repair trigger. We came through this side gate here where we saw the lime station, and then the what they call the animal dealer is basically another selling station, because all of these are selling stations 1 through 4. Whoops. And then came out to here, saw the dairy with the cows statues up front, passed by the gas station, and then came all the way back out to here. And now we walked right to here. If we purchase 169 for $63,900, you can see now we get the farmhouse. That's it. It's just a sleep trigger right here. So this is just an area for you to be able to purchase and build it up to however you want within the kind of limits that are set by the amount of space here. And now we're going to run back to our tractor because we're blocking a whole lot of traffic. Okay. First exit in the roundabout, followed by immediate left. And now we have another farmyard. So this one is where your potato sorting production is. So we came from over here, came down to this first road through the roundabout, and then came down to here. And you can see this little electrical charging symbol here. This is another thing that I think is going to require an update. This is supposed to be a actual production point. It's not. It's the new potato sorting. So I don't know why it's listed in that manner. You do get a bit of storage over here that you do have access to, even though you do not own the land, as you can see here. And you don't have to purchase the land in order to use the productions. We'll come around here, open this up. And you can see this is one of your potato production points. So you can just dump your potatoes into here, and it goes through and sorts and bags all your potatoes. And that will be, if we look at this, be this one here. So to give you just a quick overview of what this mod can do, you can see that you can put in potatoes, just normal potatoes, and you're going to get several different combinations of things out. One, you're going to get waste potatoes. Those are basically your potatoes that are just gross. You're not going to be able to sell them, you know, and they're not going to be really much point of purpose to them at all. Then you have your seed potatoes. Your seed potatoes are what you can then turn around and reuse to actually replant potatoes for your next harvest. And then lastly, you have your premium potatoes. Those premium potatoes are the ones that you want to be able to gather up and sell off to market. But you can do a single sorting in this regard. You can do a bag sorting. So you can do, I think this is considered loose, this is considered bagged, and you get pig food instead of waste potatoes, which this is actually a really nice combination right here in my opinion. And then down here you can just get straight premium potatoes, but they're just bagged. So once you have premium potatoes, you can then bag them. And then here you got seed potatoes again, where you can just bag them. And then lastly, you've got pig food, where you can take the waste potatoes and just convert it right to pig food. So nice 1-to-1 ratio there too, which is nice. And then, like I said, you put in here and you take out, I think it's all done right here. And then from here, nope, over this way, we open this gate. This is the other sorting facility. So we'll hop in through here, and this works just like a normal production point. As you can see, oh, you know what? I got all that backwards. Yeah, this is the facility for the top one that was going through here. This is the bottom one there. Okay, so whew, man, I am just batting 1,000. Let me go back to this real fast. Okay, so this one is this down here. So this one will do potatoes, and you'll get stones, manure, for some reason. I don't know why. I guess cleaning them. You get the waste potatoes like you had before, the seed potatoes, and the premium potatoes. Now this recipe here, you take your premium potatoes plus the bags and pallets to make your final product of bagged potatoes. Same thing here. You take your seed potatoes and you get your bagged seed potatoes. And then finally, you can take your waste potatoes with the bags and pallets and make waste potatoes. Now, you may be asking, where do you get the bags and pallets? Well, that is right here under the buy menu under mods and DLCs. You can see here, you can have potato boxes, persistence potato box, so just pretty much the same thing. And then here you can buy empty pallets, and these will just, when you buy them, they'll spawn up at the shop. And then here is the bags. Again, you buy them, you get them up at the shop. And you just bring them down here to deliver, and I believe the input is right here in this conveyor belt area. Now over here, same thing, you got the input here in the conveyor belt, but it's just different recipes and different things that you can actually make out of it. So that is pretty much it for this area. If we hop out, hop back into the tractor, now we're going to come out the south side of this farm. Now here we're pulling up to the biogas plant, as you can see right here. None of the triggers pop up, so we have to take a look at our map. So we were here at this kind of potato sorting facility, came down south to right here, farmland number 176. If you purchase this for $50,159, you now have the biogas plant. And you can see it's just a standard biogas plant. There's nothing, you know, too particular about this one. Now, I will say one thing. Actually, hold on. Solid inputs, liquid inputs, and liquid outputs, aka digestate. Now, I will say this. I'm very disappointed to see that there's just this basic BGA for this particular map, because they went out of their way, the map maker did, to use the potato mod that we saw, that we literally just saw. So the seed potato and buildings pack. Now in this pack, you will see under the buy menu in productions, right here, the BGA 99 kilowatt extended. This is part of the seed potatoes farm building pack, and it allows you to take your waste potatoes and dump them off here. And unfortunately, as you can see, it's not the same BGA. It's not the same biogas plant. So it could have just been a nice extra use of being able to, you know, use that particular BGA. Now you may be able to. Let me check something out. Okay, so it does look like you may be able to sell this. Yes, you can sell this and then install the BGA there. Let's just see something real quick. Yeah, so that is definitely a possibility. You can install the modded BGA to have a greater range of that particular mod that you have right from the very beginning. So it's just it's totally up to you, completely up to you. But now we need to backtrack ever so slightly, and now head north under the canopy of trees. And once we approach this roundabout, we're going to take the second exit. And here we're going to make a right. Now off to my left is the supermarket sell point. We're going to stop right here. You can see right back here is the sell point. Now let's see, I think, yes, okay. Continue heading in this direction. This is a lovely little town here. Looks like a little schoolyard right there. Now we're just going to keep heading in this direction here. And here we have another farm. We stop here. Now, if we take a look at the map, we were here at the biogas plant. We turned around and started heading to the north through the roundabout to about here where we saw the supermarket, and then come out to this direction, right out to here. If we purchase farmland number 182 for $164,760, we now have, well, we did have access to the horse barn. I got this confused for another place. I thought we had access to a sleep trigger as well. We don't. It's gonna be one of those evenings, y'all. Right here, horse barn. You can have up to 14 horses, and that's pretty much it. So really, you don't even have to purchase this land if you don't want to. So you can save your money and still have access to the horse barn. Now we'll get under the overpass here. And you can see right over there is another gas station you have access to. Now we're going to follow this up and around. And that's something else that looks very odd to me. I don't know why this looks all metallic and odd. Again, that's most likely, I feel, something that's going to need to be updated. So like I said, it just there's several things that are just small, kind of, you know, either quote unquote eyesores, or, you know, things like that. It's nothing like too damaging or too game breaking kind of thing. So, you know, it shouldn't be something that would prevent from playing on the map. Now here we're going to stop. We're going to take a look at the map. So we're here at the horse farm, 182. Pulled out, saw the gas station from a distance, and then came up this ramp onto the slow highway, got off here, and stopped here. Now you can see how there's this sliver here on farmland number 98 right there. If you purchase that farmland number 172 for $27,750, which also includes this area here and here, but you purchase that, now you see something pops up. And this is a slurry storage tank right here, so you can just dump your slurry here and unload it if you purchase this field for a later date, or this or any of the fields in this area. If you don't want to lug slurry around all over the place, you can just store it there and be good to go. Now we need to follow this up and around. Again, I'm not 100% certain what this is. Like, there's the dirt road that I'm driving on, the dirt side of the road there. This almost looks like a walking path to my right. And just, I don't know, so, this is something else that might just need to be addressed, or it might just be my confusion. I'm not sure. Follow this around here, back onto the pavement. And now we'll follow this back down south and go across the river again. And now we're coming up on, this should be farm number 5. And if we look here, we were here at this slurry storage, came up and around, back down to here, farmland number 167. If you purchase this for $58,830, you can see now we have the cow barn and a couple other items as well. So the cow barn, to load into it, is right here. You already have 80 of 200 cows available. And they're just hanging out in there. So you've got over here, let's see, your feed trigger is right here. I think you can also blow straw in right here. And over here you have your slurry output right there. You have a couple of bunker silos with a fuel tank right over there. And let's see, this way, bunker silos, some storage right there. Oh, and then right here is another one of those slurry tanks that you can load into. And now, hop back into this. And now we'll continue to follow this to the west until we get to our next large intersection. Oh, the bells are ringing. Okay. Now we're going to go through this intersection here, and then here we're going to make a right. Go over the river one last time. again here, we're going to stop because this is another farm. If we take a look at our map, farm number 5 came up and around, came through this first intersection to this one, and came all the way up to here. If we purchase farmland number 165, you can see we got some new triggers pop up. So we got some storage here, another house there, but with no sleep trigger. You have a cow barn right here for 70 cows. You have, I believe this is your milk trigger right there. Actually might be your slurry trigger. Feed trigger is inside. No, I'm sorry. Milk trigger's in the front. This is your slurry trigger in the back. And then you've got a consumable silo right here where you can put in seeds or mineral feed. A couple of bunker silos in the back. Now hop back into the tractor and take in our last 2 points of interest. Again, you've got another farm right here where you can purchase and have access to all the barns and buildings if you so choose. Slow down and pull in here. Gas station to my right. And another supermarket sell point also to my right. And that is it. That is East Groningen. Ooh, we're going to just hop over the curbs. There we go. Now it is time to render my opinion and tell you what I think of this map. 0 to 5 scale as always, and I'm kind of a mixed bag on this one because there's several areas in which I noticed where there's going to need to be updates, and some of them are, you know, more serious than others, but the terrain on this map is actually very nice. Like it's very nice and flat and accommodating in some areas. It's got that really cool kind of river, like I said, almost seems man-made river in the center of the map. And the way the road network is it basically forces you to have to go over it, you know. But you've got this kind of picturesque little village that's running along the north side of the map here on this kind of brick paver road. It's just, it's very, very pretty in a lot of different places. But then you see to my right here this kind of flat tree texture for the map. And it's just kind of, for me, that kind of just sucks me right out of the immersion factor of the map. And makes me feel like, yeah, I am playing a video game. So it's like, on one hand, it's like, oh, this is really cool. On the other hand, it's like, oh man, this is kind of a bummer kind of thing. You also have the entrances and exits for the car splines where they just kind of materialize from beyond the trees kind of thing. So it's kind of jarring, and how they just kind of start to come from behind that line of trees and into the foreground of the actual game. And it's just, again, one of those things that I want to say wow at some times, and I want to say ugh on other times. So I guess with all that being said, I would have to give this map probably around a 3 out of 5. And it's because there's some parts that are like really kind of, oh, this is really cool. Like this is a cool little part of the map. This little town right here where you're just kind of traveling through and you're, you know, looking at all the pretty houses, and that's pretty much it. But then you also approach this kind of center part here where you got the river just kind of, you know, elevated above all else, and you're, looks like they're kind of using that river as kind of little entry points for your maybe like an aquifer system kind of thing. I mean, that's just kind of a guess. I mean, obviously this isn't based on like real life kind of thing, so I'm just kind of speculating, spitballing what the map creator was thinking as to how and why they set it up the way they did. So it's just, yeah, long story short, I think this is probably around a 3, somewhere kind of in between, because there's some positives, there's some negatives, and I think that once this kind of gets cleaned up and, you know, gone through and had all the issues potentially either addressed or fixed, then yeah, I think that this would be a solid 4. Very, very nice map, lots going for it. Nice color palette, nice lighting, just lots of storage space, and I mean, come on, the ability to have 20,000 chickens on one map, that's going to be insane. The amount of feed and the amount of chickens that you're going to go through to have those fully up and running is going to be ridiculous. I look forward to seeing somebody actually going through and actually doing it, having all the necessary feed to be able to feed all 4 buildings all at the same time. Ooh, that's going to be brutal. Lots of work to be done for that. But yeah, all in all, that's where I stand. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms... Blah, blah, blah. Let me try that again. Doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.